Coming up next, red flags of abuse. Property has been owned for a long period of time by the same grantor.
So that one is very interesting. Again, here's the signs that we look out for or should be looking out for. When the elder person acquired title, and again, in that case that I told you about, had bought the property in 1962. So we know that. Some of the other signs that we might see or understand that the age of the owner of the property would be the establishment of maybe a trust in the 1980s or 1990s gives us an instant clue as to the age of that party. So suddenly we've got an elder person or somebody's held title for a very long time. Let's talk about 30, 40, 50 years, right? There's no loans on the property. So we know it's liquid equity right there. So if you transfer the property, it turns into instant cash. And then suddenly there's a transaction. Our first questions should be, where's mom or dad going? Are they being transferred to an adult living facility? Have they passed away? Because of record, they're still alive, but there's suddenly a transfer or a power trying to sell the property, either under the authority of a trust. And many people will think the property's in a trust, it must be okay. But trusts can be circumvented, right? As in the case I was telling you about where the caregiver came in, they circumvented trust. They altered the trust by doing a new amendment to that trust. And reading that amendment, it was obvious that it was not drawn by an attorney because it was so self-serving. I hate to say it, there's no magic cookie cutter way to check these things out, Pat. Every transaction is different and every fraud acts in a different manner. We have to be diligent at looking at these things.
Now, on your slide deck, red flags of abuse, I know you recently spoke with the Bar Association of one of the counties here in Northern California.
I did. It was the Contra Costa County Estate Planning Bar Association. And they invited me to speak on what I run into on this and many other topics related to trusts and incapacity.
Now, let's do a few of the bullet points.
All right.
Request to disperse sale or loan proceeds to someone other than the owner of record, the borrower, or the seller.
That's an interesting one because, again, that tells us somehow the trust or the situation has been circumvented by potentially a stranger trying to come in. And I'll give you the 411. If a property is in a trust, the title company should be dispersing to the trust account and then placing the further distribution into the hands of the trustee of that trust that would go out to the beneficiaries of the trust, being that, let's say, Pat, you and I are two brothers, our parent passes away, you are the successor trustee of that trust. So therefore, you drive that transaction to sell the property. You are held accountable to me as a beneficiary of that trust. So when the transaction closes, the proceeds go to the trust account. You as the successor trustee are now in charge of distributing those proceeds out, potentially half to yourself and half to me. That's how it should go. But what if it was the same situation, but you instructed escrow to send all proceeds to the Pat Kapowich account, therefore circumventing me and the trust itself? So that's a huge red flag.